And tonight's first word goes to Joe Biden on the day when the 4 years of waiting has come down to 4 days of waiting.
Only 4 days left. Millions of Americans are already voting. Millions more are going to vote by late Tuesday night. And I believe when you use your power, the power of a vote, we're going to change the course of the country and, quite frankly, the world. Right here and I, with all of you, in the final days, please keep your sense of empowerment. Keep your sense of optimism of what we can do together, because you know we can do anything.
Keep your sense of optimism. That was Joe Biden campaigning in Iowa today, where Donald Trump won by 10 points 4 years ago, and where one poll shows Joe Biden ahead by 3. So there's plenty to be optimistic about if you want Joe Biden to be the next president of the United States and Kamala Harris to be the next vice president of the United States. Joe Biden is actually giving you a piece of personal life advice for this weekend and these 4 days when he says, keep your sense of optimism, because that's how the professionals do it. That's how they get through it. I've been asking some successful presidential campaign managers on this program how they deal with the emotions and the anxieties of the final week, and they've given the kind of answer you would get from an airline pilot about landing a plane in a bad storm. They talk about concentrating on the data and doing their jobs. But I know how the candidates get through it. I've seen enough of that. When I was working in the United States Senate and I watched new candidates for Senate working their way to the finish line of a campaign, or veteran incumbent senators running for re-election, I saw how they handled the final days of the campaign, the way Joe Biden's doing it now. They choose optimism. Candidates running in a campaign where they have a good chance of winning and an equally good chance of losing simply choose optimism, because it is a choice. You can spend this weekend and the next few days racked with anxiety and fear and maybe even pessimism, or you can choose optimism. And if your optimism turns out to be wrong, you have plenty of time for fear and anxiety starting on Wednesday. But why ruin this weekend? Do what Joe Biden's doing. Choose optimism. Do what I learned to do in political campaigns. Choose optimism. Work hard. If you're one of the thousands and thousands of people who are working for a candidate, calling people, texting people, trying to get people to vote, and do it with optimism and pride that you're doing everything you possibly can to try to move this country closer to its ideals.